You are listening to the USDN on the DSPN.
It's a trap!
What is up, everybody, and welcome to the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people. What if the thing hunting you was never meant to exist? What if your soul was already claimed? A young woman haunted by visions, a presence, watching from the shadows, and something far worse closing in. Not a demon, not a beast, but something twisted in between. The Jackel Bunny, sent by the Prince of Hell to collect what is owed. Tonight, we step into a world where identity fractures, fear becomes reality, and survival means confronting the darkness within. Because this isn't just a story about horror, it's a story about what happens when your very soul is the target. Today, we're stepping into the world of indie horror with creator Kevin Davis, the mind behind Skinshifter Volume 1. A supernatural story where identity, fear, and survival collide. Ladies and gentlemen, the Council of Nerds is now in session. Kevin, welcome to the USDN.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, dude. You've been on the schedule for a hot minute now. But if you're ready, we'll dive right on in. And you can start by telling us, who is Kevin Davis?
Well, first, I'm Kevin Davis. I am a comic creator, comic writer, entrepreneur. I've been called a go-giver because I tend to do a lot of things and have a lot of hats. Because outside of publishing, I also make apparel, like shoes and shirts and everything. And I also make my own, I'm working on my own beverage company. So I do a lot of different things back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But most importantly, I am a mental health advocate as well, and I love creating, and so I dab my hands into different things to challenge myself.
That is a lot of hats, dude. A lot of hats.
Yeah.
So in the middle of all those things, you were inspired to create Skinshifter. What exactly inspired this one?
So Skinshifter is based on my novel called Jackel Bunny. That's on Amazon. But I really love dabbing into like psychological thrillers and like horror, like horror. Like I grew up with like I know one of my inspirations was like, if you're a wrestling fan, you know Bray Wyatt, the Fiend.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's been one of my inspirations. Rest in peace to him. And I love movies like Split. And like the Unbreakable trilogy, and then also I love like Nightmare on Elm Street with the Dreams with Freddy Krueger and everything. And so I get like different inspiration from so many things at once, and I just want to like dabble into each concept and make my own thing with it. Yeah. And I specifically went with the Jackel Bunny because that was a couple years ago. A movie called Jackals came out, or like streaming or something.
Yeah,
and one of the horror characters was a woman with a bunny mask on, and so I was like, "Can I do a horror bunny type of story, but not like this, but more of a supernatural universe?" Yeah, and so I was like, maybe, and so I was like, I brushed it off for a little while because I was like, we'll see. But then it kept coming back to me, and I kept thinking about it. I was like, okay, what can I do with this? Like, how can I make a psychological bunny story that's not seen before, but that's not done the same way as other animal type of horror stories has been.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And so I started like writing different storylines. Like okay, that's okay. That's okay. I'm like, but it's not going what I want it to go yet. And I wrote like 100 drafts until I finally cracked it. It's like, oh yeah, let me do some type of alter ego type of story
Mm-hmm.
where the villain has that alter ego. So the human version of Jackel Bunny is Sabrina Jackel, and Sabrina Jackel also has her own story how she became the Jackel Bunny. That you
Mm-hmm.
will see in the Skinshifter comic. So it's like I got so many different inspirations going because I grew up loving horror and fantasy. Of
Yeah.
course, I stuck around as a kid watching horror, and I got in
Mm-hmm.
trouble for it, but I kept going. But because I gravitated towards it, and I've realized that's one of my strong suits is writing horror, and I really enjoy doing it. And then I grew up watching the show Supernatural, like Sleepy Hollow, and like those different type of shows and movies that really inspired Skinshifter
Mm-hmm.
and inspired my craft of writing.
I feel like I've seen something recently that Sleepy Hollow might be getting another reboot, but I'm not 100% positive on that one because that one was really good, and I don't really I feel like it didn't get the love or the finish that it deserved.
I agree. I agree.
But so what exactly is the Jackal Bunny in your story? Is it a person with a mask, or is it a
So
demon with the persona?
okay, so like when I said the alter ego, so it's a human slash like a demon persona.
Okay.
So the human version is Sabrina Jackal, but the Jackal Bunny is also a spirit that's in Sabrina Jackal. I'm trying not to spoil it.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to spoil it,
But I will say Sabrina Jackal and the Jackal Bunny have separate stories of how they became together.
okay.
I will say that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
But Sabrina Jackal and Jackal Bunny are two different entities, but in one.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Now that's really interesting. And you got stories for
yeah.
both the demon and the person themselves. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. Oh
But why combine something as innocent as a bunny with something so sinister?
yeah. Because I honestly truly believe everything has a dark side to them. If you just bring it out, find ways to bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, it's a balance. Because good and evil, it's a balance to me. So I'm like, everything and everyone has a dark side in them somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose the bunny. And plus, I'm like, you've seen like the dark monkeys and like the hippos and like the
Mm-hmm.
lions, and I'm like, I wanted to do something that's not really done as much. Like, so I
Yeah.
chose a bunny.
Well, we're getting another hippo here soon with
Yeah,
Hungry. Did you
yeah, I
see the
saw that.
preview for that yet?
I did. I did. I saw that.
I
I
actually
saw
kind
that.
of like the concept of it, like because it's like based off the game Hungry Hippos, but it gives it this really awesome dark twist, and they
Yeah,
put it in New Orleans, in the swamps
yeah.
of New Orleans, and I'm just like,
Oh yeah. Like
yes,
it looks
this works
interesting.
so well.
Oh yeah, it
But
looks very interesting.
yeah, no, that one's going to be a good one, I think.
I'm hoping.
But
I'm definitely interested though.
oh yeah, that's I'm not sure if that's part of like the Mattel like lineup because Mattel did make the game Hungry Hippos.
Mhm.
So I don't know if this is a part of like their like the Barbies, and I know there's a Hot Wheels movie coming out. I don't know if this
Yeah,
falls within that or not, or if this was just like, you know,
I don't think it
Winnie
was.
the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure.
yeah. I don't think it's with Mattel or anything, especially since it's a horror movie. I don't think it is, but you never really
You
know.
never know. You never
Anything's
know.
possible. So
Exactly. But so what will set your villain apart from traditional horror antagonist, other than a cute bunny mask?
uh, um, I think what would set her apart is I think she's one of the most unpredictable. Like you think you know it's going to go one route, but it's going to go a whole different route compared to
Mhm.
other villains. And then also this villain you won't have any sympathy for. I was like, I'm purposely making sure she's not likable.
Yeah.
But I'm always a villain guy, so there might be somewhere you might potentially like her. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to. But I like stories that I don't that makes you like have your own imagination with. That makes you like question what's going on, but also like predict what's going on. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like some people like I don't care for a backstory of the villain. I just freaking love the villain just because what they're doing. So that's kind of like the way I'm trying to.
I'm the opposite because I like to know where the villain is coming from and what drives them to this. You
will. I'm like you will know that though. But I'm just
but
for the most part you will be mostly on the other side of things. Like I want to bear her up, but I will show a backstory of why Sabrina Jackel and Jackel Bunny are the way they are for those that do want to know that story. But for now, I'm trying to build them up so it's like for you to see what the heck they are right now. So
like I'm excited for we all know the story of Jason Voorhees and how he became Jason Voorhees, but with the new TV series Camp Crystal Lake, I'm excited to see what else, because we know the kid was tormented, we know he drowned and then was brought back. I kind of want to I'm really interested to see those early years before, as he arrives to Crystal Lake, kind of like how his life was like. So that one really has me intrigued because I do like a good backstory with the villain. Like I love, when we finally learn who Freddy Krueger really is. I love learning about who and why the Pinhead and those guys are, I really enjoyed those backstories to those characters and how they became who they are and what they are. I just love a good character. I want to know the reason of the character and the why they are the why they are, So,
well, you definitely will see the both story of a Sabrina and a Jackel Bunny. I will say that won't be a spin-off backstory. You actually see in the comic itself. I won't do like a full-fledged prequel.
No, that's really cool.
I'm just going to show you the backstory of both characters from where they're from and how they became who they are.
Yeah. No, I like that. So when readers first experience the Jackel Bunny, what do you want them to feel the first time they encounter it?
Well, one, I want you to feel the emotion of the characters, of each character, because each character I try to make important. I don't have like one lead, but like in support. I want each character to be relatable somehow. And also try not to trust everybody in the story.
Yeah.
But also just have a blast with it. If you get scared, that's a bonus for me. But I really just want you to have fun with it. And this is just chapter 1 of Skinshifter.
Yeah.
For this Kickstarter coming launching around June, July-ish.
Okay.
And then at first I was going to release like the full graphic novel, but I split them. So this Kickstarter is chapter 1, and then the next Skinshifter will be the full-fledged graphic novel. Okay. So I'm releasing chapter 1 to give you a taste of this story.
Yeah.
And so it's roughly about 30 to 40 something pages for chapter 1, I believe. So I kind of lost count. My artist is working on it, so I kind of lost count.
Yeah.
So I'd say about 30, 40 pages for chapter 1, and then around next year, the full-fledged graphic novel will be roughly 100 something pages.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's
maybe I think close to 200 pages, maybe. Because it's going to be because I'm turning my full novel of Jackel Bunny to the graphic novel.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be about 5 or 6 issues in the graphic novel version. And I chose to do it this way because, one, I love a good paperback.
Yeah.
And I really just love the way it comes out. And I'm like, I want to transition from those floppies into a full-fledged paperback hardcovers because I love holding those so much more than holding the floppy. And I was like, okay, I'm going to launch chapter 1. And even chapter 1 is going to be a paperback by itself, just with 30, 40 pages. So that's a paperback by itself. It's not a floppy. But and then the graphic novel is going to be thicker because it's more pages and more of the story.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm kind of torn though. I love floppies, because it's easier to store them, And
True.
but also I love a good trade paperback because I can sit down and read an entire arc of a story. So I get torn because I like to read it on an issue by issue.
Yeah.
But then when the paperback comes out or the hardback or whatever it is for that arc, I also really just enjoy reading like everything in one go as well.
All right, don't get me wrong. I will still have single issues just for those who might want the single issues with different covers.
Yeah.
But so I'll have it like split like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Will each have an individual cover, and then just a full-fledged trade paperback of the graphic novel. So you can get the graphic novel, or you can get all 6 single issues by itself if you want to. So I'm like, I try to reach both sides of things.
Yeah. It's a good way to do it, you know. But let's talk about Amya, because she is the poor young lady whose soul is not hers. But who is Amya at the start of this story?
So Amya Fitzgerald, she's just a young college girl trying to live her life, do her studies, have a good time, and just she's basically like an introverted person that like her. She likes her own company, and she has good friends and everything, and she just try to live her life. Yeah. But for some odd reason, one day she's like sitting. This is like the beginning of chapter 1. I'm going to say it. Like she's just sitting, reading, writing, and like sitting at a tree. And then her friend Chris comes up and invites her to a party. Of course, she was hesitant because she doesn't party. But it's Chris. It's her best friend, and so she said yes. And then so as soon as she leaves, you see the Jackel Bunny at sitting at a bench, looking straight at her. Yeah. And she gets this chill feeling. It's like, okay, who that person's creepy. Why the heck she's staring at me for? Yeah. And then Jackel Bunny disappears next scene. And I'm like, is she seeing stuff, or was Jackel Bunny actually right there? So that's where the story begins. You get straight into the action of the story instantly. And so Amya, you learned Amya is being haunted by Jackel Bunny because Jackel Bunny was sent from hell by the Prince of Hell called the Corpus Fiend. Mm-hmm. And so you will see the Corpus Fiend in chapter 1, I believe. Yeah, you will see a glimpse of the Corpus Fiend. I believe you actually will learn a little bit of Jackel Bunny's story in chapter 1 too. Probably, I believe I made sure I put at least a bit of her backstory in there. But yeah, Maya is just an innocent soul, but you're gonna keep questioning. Okay, why does this Corpus Fiend want her so badly? Yeah, and why does he continue to send this Jackel?
That's actually my very next question.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. What was the question? What's the next question?
Why is she the target?
You have that. I can't say because you have to read it.
Fair enough.
That was for the story. I can't go into detail, but I will say. That's gonna spoil. Never mind. I can't say that.
No, don't spoil it.
I can't say that.
But I think it's some type of deal that her parents had made that once she becomes to a certain age, that's what I'm guessing. And that's kind of like the vibe I get.
That's what I like. That's legit what I wanted. You have an imagination.
I literally read comic books and talk about comic books for a living. So for me, it's kind of like when I see a story like this and a young lady is being targeted by the Prince of Hell, my mind immediately goes, what the hell did the parents do? What did her parents get for her soul at a certain age and time?
I will say it does deal with her parents, but not in the way you think.
Knew it.
Yeah, but it's not in the way you think. It's not the typical way, because that's been told like so many times.
Yeah. But that's where my head went as soon as I seen the synopsis of the story.
Yeah, so you're on the right track a bit, but because you got the parents part right, but it's just not that reasoning. If that's saying
okay.
So, but just the fact that you have an imagination to like predict that's what makes me really excited. That you get to read the story and learn what's going to happen. So
I think any comic book reader like has the imagination. Like
Yeah.
as we're
Yeah.
reading through, like maybe it's an upcoming FOC and there's new titles coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and they give you the synopsis of a story, and you're like, that's going to be good. I got a feeling it's going to be this or this in this story. And
Yeah.
I will pick up a comic book simply based on that. And unless it's a certain writer, and then I'm just like, I already know that story is going to be good because this certain writer is writing that story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But so how is
that actually goes back to your original question? What I want the readers to feel when they read the question is like, that's exactly how I want people to feel. Is get that imagination, just guess what's going to happen.
No, it's kind of like as I read a page of a comic book, I'm kind of like okay, my mind immediately starts going like, okay, how much of this can I predict off of this, and your imagination just starts running wild. And and I'm a very like thorough reader. I don't just read the comic book, I study the comic book. I look for context within the art. And I go all in for these kinds of things. And that's one of the main reasons I love comic books so much, is because you can do that. You may be wrong, by the time you get to the end of that issue, but it's never a bad thing that you were wrong, because the whole time you're like, as you're reading, you're like, oh yeah, I knew that one. I kind of nailed that. Then you get to the last page of it, and you're like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? Like, let's go. Issue 2, man. Let's go.
Heck yeah. Exactly. Heck yeah.
I love books like that. And there's been so many of them over the last like year and a half, where it's just been like the cliffhangers they're giving us, the directions they're taking stories, and you're just like, yeah, I gotta wait a whole month, or I gotta wait another 2 weeks, and depending on the schedule of the book, and you're just like, come on. It's one of those where you're also happy that it's not a weekly book, because that would just be like, geez, especially at the prices they are right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd be going broke trying to read them if it was weekly. But so how is she going to evolve throughout this story, Amaya?
Okay. How she's going to evolve?
Well, I mean, we know she's this like introverted college student, but every character is going to go through this evolution of who they are.
Oh yeah. Well, first she's gonna the way she evolves, she's going to learn about the secrets her parents kept from her, I will say, because there are a lot of secrets that's been kept from her.
Yeah.
She's going to learn, it's like, if like we talked off camera, but if you like you know how Buffy the Vampire Slayer, how she became like the tense character, like close to as the season evolves. So Maya's going to become like, she starts out as an introvert, but as she learns about the secrets that's going to come out, she's going to be one of those badass characters like Buffy, and like even like a bit of a Tomb Raider, because and so many other characters like 11
just
from
become that strong female lead. I love those types of evolutions.
Even like 11 from Stranger Things. And so that's kind of give you like a clue of where the story's gonna go. Hint. But
I like it, dude. I like it.
But let's just say she's not gonna be an introvert for long. Well, she's still gonna be an introvert, but she's gonna be like that type of introvert that's stronger. And has more discipline and boundaries, because she would not be able to really trust much people or things. And as this story progresses.
No, I like the way, like, especially like characters like that start out as this shy, introverted individual, and then by the end of it, they're just like this seasoned, like hard ass, who can go, but they're also still that shy, introverted person. Until it's like, oh, okay, hang on one second,
exactly.
Hands off her drink.
Exactly.
No time.
And when like this Kickstarter chapter 1, then when the full-fledged graphic novel come out, that's just the first arc of Amaya, and you're going to see her growth a lot more in just the first arc, which is about, that's like I said, about 5 or 6 issues in the graphic novel.
Okay.
In volume 1 graphic novel.
Okay.
And I think this is one of the best stories I've written so far, because I've had so much fun writing this and like planning it out.
That's the key right there, man. Is how much fun are you having yourself as you write something? Dude. Like I get the opportunity to talk to so many creators, both from the art world and the writer world, and it's like one of the biggest things is they're always enjoying what they're doing, and it shows. It shows in their work, and it shows in their art. And I see like people talking to like artists that work on Marvel and DC, and for them, they're just kind of like, they go through the motions. Like, they have the passion, obviously, but not the same type of passion that an indie creator has when they're enjoying what they're doing, because they don't know if they're getting paid for this. They don't know what they're planning to make on this. They may just make enough money to fund the book, print the book, and send it to people. And they're okay with that. Like, at least it's out there for the people to enjoy.
Exactly.
And then
that's really why I got into this industry, because I love storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's legit my therapy. It's legit my therapy.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day, is like, you pour yourself into this, and it doesn't matter if anybody likes it but you. I mean, it does, but it was so therapeutic for you to write that and put those words on the paper and see that story and see that art come together with that story. That in and of itself, I mean, it's,
Exactly, man.
But let's talk about the world of Skinshifter here. Like, every world has its rules. Every universe within a comic book has its rules. Every horror movie, every horror villain, every horror trope, they all have rules built within it, made by the writer of this story. What are the rules of the Skinshifter universe?
So first, Skinshifter is actually part of a bigger universe.
Okay.
So my entire comic universe is called the Hollow Fate Chronicles.
Okay.
And so I have other comics called, my main series, Arcfire, is a science fiction horror thriller too. And I've been asked if my universe is connected. I'm saying, yes, they're connected, but you don't have to pick up one book to understand the other. Because each one has their own voice, and each other has their own story. I was like, so I'm like, you can start with Skinshifter because it's because it's a psychological horror. And then like Arcfire is more of a science fiction, cosmic adventure, action horror. And then I have another comic called Halloween that's a murder mystery, psychological, supernatural horror. So a lot, you can see the drift. A lot of it's horror because I write. It's more than I write.
There was I'm trying to remember who wrote the book or the name of the book, but it was a psychological thriller, but it was about guys who went around and did not exorcisms, but cleansing of haunted like houses and stuff like that. And come out last year, and it was just really good. Like that psychological type of like haunted thriller. And dude, I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was just so good. I think it was like I want to say it was Dark Horse. It was on Dark Horse or maybe Oni Press.
Okay.
But it was just really, really good. Because it was like, I want to say at one point the guy was a priest or something, but he was like removed from the church, or he removed himself from the church. But it was very much along this, like the exorcism and Annabelle and that kind of stuff. Where just all these bad things started happening to like his cameraman and like the people around him. So I really love those types of stories where it's just creepy, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
that type of horror that as you read it, like you kind of get that tingle up your spine and the hairs on your neck stand up. Some of the best horror right there.
Oh yeah,
But so
and like get back to your
into,
question with the rules.
oh yeah, yeah.
I don't follow rules. If I'll be honest, I do not follow.
Fair enough.
Because I'm like, I don't do like this is a final girl thing. I'm like, that's been done since ever. But I will say that the rule I do follow is like finding your identity, and because
Okay.
like a lot of my stories, I try to put like a sense of like mental health awareness into it a bit with some characters.
Yeah.
Like I try to find a way for each character to be relatable somewhere and
Yeah.
somehow. But also I was like, be careful who you trust. It's also a rule. I might be careful who you trust.
Yeah. So like entities like the Jackel Bunny, how do they operate within this? Are they like that the Michael Myers of it, the Jason of it, or like do they just like boop gone, boop back?
That's a good question. I think
because I mean she was sent from the Prince of Hell.
Yeah.
So she has to have a way to communicate to Hell, and she has to have ways to do these things.
Yeah, I would say she's kind of like kind of sort of like Hellraiser a bit.
Okay.
In a way. Yeah, kind of like Hellraiser mixed with kind of a little bit of Spawn a bit to her.
Okay.
Heck, you can actually kind of put like some Scarlet Witch from Marvel into her too. Now I think about it.
Okay.
So it's like kind of like that, and just with the bunny.
Fair enough.
But I think she's one of those characters like it's like very complex. You can't really just pull one thing on her, because I think as Jackel Bunny and like that character evolves, she's much deeper than you think she is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just name one thing that you compare her to. So you can just find so many different aspects of her.
Yeah.
From different horror legends and like different horror characters, and that's probably why I have the most fun writing Jackel Bunny, because I'm taking inspiration from so many different characters I grew up watching and watch to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she is one of those complex characters, I would say. So yeah.
I like you, man. So we talked about the Prince of Hell several different times here,
Mm-hmm.
but what role does he actually play within this world?
That is that's the fun part that I play with all the time. Let's just say he's like the villain version of Nick Fury. He's bringing things together for something that's going to happen down the road. I'll put it that way.
Melbasia did the same thing.
Yeah. Because like I said,
I know a lot of people don't know who Melbasia is, but he is back. He is within the Spawn universe.
Yep, I know.
There you go. Well, but others listening later may not know.
Yeah. But like I said, my characters are connected somehow, somewhere, and I do plan on a crossover event called the Halo Fate Chronicles book.
Okay.
We'll bring together Arcfire, Skinshifter, and my other stories that's going to come out before the Halo Fate crossover. I mean, the Halo Fate Chronicles crossover, to show how they are connected. But let's just, he's that's basically how he plays in this universe. He's like the dark version Nick Fury, just a Prince of Hell. So yeah,
fair enough. I like it.
But he's a mix of Nick Fury and Thanos in a way.
Okay.
So yeah, because he has the power of Thanos, and like he's very powerful, and he has a mission that he wants to complete. That you will find out once you read the story.
I like it. I think every good horror story, like especially one like this, where there's an inevitably going to be a hero, deserves a villain with a big plan like this, the Batman, Joker, that kind of stuff. So I like those types of villains.
Yeah, because when I started writing these stories, I'm like, this is kind of like my Marvel universe, but it's more horror and not a superhero type of thing. Because I'm like, they're not going to have like these crazy type of suits, anything. I'm like, but it's like it's mix of supernatural characters, and because I also have vampires, I have witches, I have other demons, I have other creatures in the stories. And then I have some humans that have powers. So there will be humans that have powers, but they're not going to be like they're not going to have like a signature suit or anything like this. Because I always, when I got into writing comics, I'm like, I want to stray away from superheroes. Because every time somebody bring up comics, people automatically think superheroes. And I was like, comics are more than superheroes. So I want to stray away from that. And so
you know what? I don't mind superheroes. I'm just tired of superheroes wearing suits and outfits. I just want yes, they're a superhero, but they look like the neighbors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't mind it either, but I'm the same way. I'm the same way. That's why I was like, this is like my Marvel universe, but you don't have to read one book to understand the other. They're all standalone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want you to read them because I want you to enjoy, be entertained, enjoy the stories. But you don't have to pick up. You can just start anywhere, and if you instantly get hooked and you want to see the other ones, please be my guest and check all of them out because I want to get people reading and having fun again, and because this world is crazy right now, and I just want to help people grow their imagination, just have fun with stories and get away from media.
Turn the brain off and just enjoy your read.
Yeah, and that's also why I transitioned to more paperbacks, because you can just sit there and just have a full-fledged arc and just enjoy your time. And it's like, what the hell is happening right now? Oh my god! Well, that's how I am when I'm reading books and stuff. And so it's like I want to give people reading for kids, adults, and just everyone. Have a blast. We need some fun right now, and that's it. That's why I say writing is my therapy, because that's how I get out of my head for a minute and just story tell some random stuff that I cook up in my head.
I like it. And so we know this is a horror story. What types of horror define Skinshifter to you? Now we got the psychological effect in there, but what other types of horror are mixed into this?
You have the psychological, you have the supernatural, you kind of sort of have a murder mystery. Now think about it. Right now I think about it, it's gonna have a little bit of murder mystery because there are outside characters that are confused as what's going on. So it's kind of a bit of murder mystery into it too. And then you have a little bit of a gore in there, but the gore goes with the story. It's not like a Terrifier thing.
Yeah, it's not gore to have gore.
It's the gore that actually drives the story, that drives with the story, because you do see the demonic side of Jackel Bunny, because you'll see her sharp, when she mutates her hands into sharp type of nail things that you see, and then you actually see the demon face of Jackel Bunny too. So I will say that you do see her sharp teeth and how her bunny face changes. By the way, the Jackel Bunny version, the bunny is actually her face. Only Sabrina Jackel wears a mask. That's how they're two different things. So that's how they're two different entities. Because that's a Jackel Bunny. Her face is the bunny.
Gotcha.
A demonic bunny. But as Sabrina Jackel wears a bunny mask.
Okay.
So
I
will put out saying Jackel Bunny is a spirit that's older than Sabrina Jackel. I will say that. I don't mind putting that out there, but you'll see how they came together.
Fair enough. I like it.
Yeah.
So how do you find balance between psychological and visual, like all these different horror tropes that you are including in this book, how do you kind of balance those out without it being like just overwhelming for a reader?
Oof. How did I? So the way I balanced it, that's a good question actually. How did I balance it? So I try not to put too much into like one page.
Yeah.
Like I get so like I said at the beginning, it starts out with Amaya and like she sees Jackel and like she sees Sabrina Jackel and like sitting on a bench, and then you kind of see Amaya go about her life. And then that's how I try to balance it. I'm show the life of the character, and then I get back to the horror of the story and showing what Jackel Bunny and Sabrina Jackel's up to. And then also I release like some secrets that's going behind the back of Amaya that she doesn't know about.
Yeah.
And I was like, then I go back to I was like, all right, let me show more of her life, and like who Amaya is and like the type of person she is. So that's kind of how I try to balance it out to show each character's life. And then you got of course I got some college jocks in the story.
Of course, you got to. I mean, she's in college.
Yeah. So that's kind of I try to like balance it out. I'm like, so like this, I'm like, there are jocks in real life that does stuff like this. And so I was like, I try to bring like some realism into it too. And and so that's kind of like the way I try to like balance it out a bit. I'm like, I try not to put too much of the psychological in there, but I try to put it where it actually makes sense and not just thrown in there for no freaking reason.
Yeah.
And then that's how I drive the story. I was like, okay, I want to start it simple. I was like, okay, this is happening behind her back, but this is also what she's up to. Well, this is what Jackel Bunny's doing, and then this is what Amaya's friends are doing, and stuff like that. I was like, okay, now
let me have to utilize the panels of the page.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, now let me get you to the gritty part of what Jackel Bunny did without you guys knowing while Amaya was living her life.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see of a potential victim that Jackel Bunny took while Maya is living her life. And so you actually see that graphic. I was like, this is what the Jackel Bunny does, by the way, in the demon form of her. And yeah, so I was like, and then going back to the story. So that's kind of so I try to keep it balanced best way I can. Like have you entertained, but also understand the story, but also see if you get scared or not. But that's not really my goal with horror. I was like, I don't think horror is like to be scary. I just want a good story, and that drives me to want to know more about these characters. Because I want to feel the intensity. I want to feel the emotion. I'm like, I don't care about being scared. I don't do like those cheap jump scares.
Yeah.
And I just want you to move with the story. So yeah.
No, that works, dude. I like stories that are fleshed out like that.
Yeah.
Where you have your primary story, your secondary story, your tertiary story.
Yeah.
Which you know, a lot of stories don't do that tertiary story, which is what's happening behind, the main protagonist, the antagonist, and then you have something else going on in the background. You may not pick up on it right away, but eventually, through the art or through the words, it kind of like slowly creeps itself back into the actual main story.
Yeah.
And no, it is one of those where you can either do it really well or you can really mess that part up, That's why you don't see a lot of stories with a tertiary like thing going on behind it. Like you don't get a lot of that no more. Like the book I'm working on has that going on, but I don't want to say it's really obvious, but it's pretty obvious once it's fleshed out the proper way. You'll be like, wait, is that? Oh,
yeah.
But it's just like this really cool story going on behind the main story. And it's going to be really, I think it's going to hit really good because of the characters it is. And people it'll become like very blatantly obvious who the characters are in the story. And then people will be like, oh, damn. So, yeah.
And then also in Skinshifter, it has like a detective aspect to it too. I will tease that.
Yeah.
It's like, but you won't see the detective aspect until the graphic novel version. So that's
Okay.
So Skinshifter Chapter 1, you get into more the psychological aspect of the story, but and then in the graphic novel you get the other parts.
Yeah. No, I do like a good like supernatural detective or like a horror detective story. Like there's something about those types of stories that are just so good.
Yeah. And that's my first time writing like a detective type of adding a detective subplot to the story that's that's going to have a twist to it that I hope you don't see happening.
Yeah.
That's the but I saved that for the graphic novel version to see so you can see the full flash arc.
Yeah.
But that's why I want to release this. I'm going to release chapter 1 just to get. I'm like, let me dip your toes into this.
Yeah.
And
So
see
and
what
you
you
know
think.
what else it is? Like people will write these really phenomenal like psychological dramas, psychological horrors, supernatural type stories where people are very obviously and very blatantly being murdered or killed, what have you. And they don't include the human aspect of that. Okay, there's going to be cops, there's going to be detectives.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that kind of stuff within stories as well.
Well,
Yeah,
I hope you
write
pick up
us a
this
really,
one.
write us a really good horror story. But
Oh yeah.
within the background of that, give us that real world police side of it. Like, I'm not telling you to write us a full on like detective novel about a
Yeah.
detective trying to solve this, supernatural horror.
Oh yeah.
But add that little bit of real world realness to it, and it just cranks up a good comic book or a good graphic novel to another level. Like you don't have to show it. Like you can just pop in a panel of like the Jackel Bunny in this case, like leaving the scene of a crime, and then like a cop like that drove by it by chance, or like a
That's
detective that
actually
passes
funny.
by.
That's actually funny. There actually is a scene similar to that in the graphic novel.
See, it gives it that a little bit of that real world feel
Yeah.
to it, of what may happen if something like this actually did happen. It's
Yeah.
just a little slice of that real world, with a story, and I love that kind of stuff
Wait,
where it's
actually,
just a little bit.
that might be in chapter 1 too. Actually, now I think about it,
That's really
it's
cool
in the
because I
book. It's
like
in the
those
book.
little elements.
Yeah, it's in the book
Like,
regardless.
give
But
me
like,
a good horror, give me a good
yeah,
like mystery, but give us a little splash of that real world where we
yeah.
know this bad stuff is happening. Just tease that the cops are working on this or a detective is working on this. It doesn't have to be explicitly like, oh, there's a big crime scene and the cops are there, but maybe in the background of a panel, there's like cops rushing toward that direction the protagonist is leaving in because they just did all these bad things. I like just that little bit of real world.
Oh
Not
yeah.
the whole TV
Now,
show.
now I think about it, there is a scene that turns into a crime scene in chapter 1. But you don't see the detectives until the graphic novel. So I actually do bring it back to that scene in the graphic
See,
novel. So yeah.
you got to return to it. You got to return to the scene. I like it.
So yeah,
But
yeah.
let's talk about the creative process on this. So you've done this book with Daya Negron. Is that how you pronounce her name? Daya. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with names. Like I can
It's
pronounce Kevin Davis. But
I mean that's just the short version of her name. Her last name is actually longer than that. She just has me say the Negron part. Her actual last name is spelled way longer and different. I just couldn't pronounce it, and so she just said just say this Daya Negron. So
no, that works, man.
I
So
did not
how
want
did
to
y'all
butcher it.
connect? Like how did y'all connect to work on this story together?
Dude, that's actually a funny story. We met 4 years ago. I was with a independent film studio. Wait, was it four? No, was it four? It was 4 or 5 years ago. No, it was 2022. It was 4 years ago. I was with a independent film studio, like supporting their movies and like potentially get cast. I did a voiceover for that studio, and they have a Discord. And then I remember one day when I was like thinking about getting into comics, I was like, that's when I was studying comics and like learning like, okay, how did I find an artist and stuff like that. One day she so happened to post a piece of her art in the Discord and I saw it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, what the world and where the crap did you come from? And so I sent her a friend request and she accepted it. And so I messaged her, like start a casual conversation, say, hey, how you doing? And like, I'm like, I saw your art, it's so freaking cool. And then we just had a full-fledged conversation talking about art and just being like creativity.
Yeah.
And then I popped the question. I was like, do you by chance do comic books? She said, as a matter of fact, I do. And then the brain started started going. And I was like, okay. I told her I'm a writer, I'm an author, and I'm thinking about getting into comic books. Can you help me figure out how to do this? And she got so excited when I pitched her like multiple stories of like what I'm thinking in my head. And I sent her like my novel of Jackel Bunny, and she's a huge horror fan. She's like, "Oh my god!" And she's like, she could see the visual in her head already.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Are we potentially gonna have a partnership now? Because we just bonded very quickly, and we just met."
Yeah.
And so I was like, and I was still learning how to make a script and everything. And then we kind of we started working with character designs. And then life happens. We kind of had to pause for a couple years, like for a while, because she was going through a lot of different transition stuff with like her personal life and everything.
Yeah.
And so Skinshifter. Well, I didn't have Skinshifter wasn't the title back then because I didn't have a title for the comic yet. I just went by Jackel Bunny. And so I kind of just like went off for a bit and like try to find another artist. And so I found another artist, but I had a different story for that artist and not Jackel Bunny. And so 2024, Daya and I reconnected over creating comics together. We've been in contact this entire time. We just like as friends, but we never actually started working together just yet.
Yeah.
And so like 2024, I had the full script done and everything for finally and that's when I got the name Skinshifter after watching one independent movie called Shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And I like the shifter name, and I like the concept of the movie. I'm like, and then I heard of Skinwalker. I'm saying Skinwalker, Shapeshifter, Skinshifter. There we go. That's the title. Yeah. And so I was like, okay. Then I sent her the script. She's like, wow, and she got excited again. And then stuff still happened a bit with her life and everything. And then in 2025, everything calmed down, got less hectic. I had another artist to do Skinshifter at first, but it didn't come out the way I wanted it.
Yeah.
And so I didn't promote it or release that version of it. I'm like, no bad things to the artist that did it. He did a wonderful job. It just didn't feel like what I wanted.
Yeah. And
then Daya comes back into the picture, and now we're in full production of Skinshifter, as you can see. And she brings out the feel that I want.
And sometimes that's what it's all about, man. If you don't click with your artist on that particular story, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, 9 times out of 10, the people you want to sit down and read and enjoy it aren't going to enjoy it either, because it's going to show. You're not going to want to market it. You're not going to want to push it the way it needs to be pushed.
Oh yeah.
So it makes a huge difference when you like the artist and you like what they're producing. Like when you already have this particular person in your head for a project, you're going to have to shoot you got to do that.
Yeah.
Because like you just did, you've done it, but it didn't resonate the way you needed it to want to continue with that. So
yeah, and when they did the cover, as you can see on the Kickstarter, I was like, that's what I'm looking for. That's the tenacity I'm looking for. And now we're full-fledged in production on on chapter 1 and the graphic novel. We're about halfway done with chapter 1. I'm hoping to have the chapter 1 printed before I launch the Kickstarter officially, so I can actually show the audience of like, this is chapter 1, it's fully done. This is what the Kickstarter is for. Like,
you have pages though, right?
I do. I got some of the pages are on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, I thought I had seen some on there.
Yeah, that's the first few. So I'm like, chapter 1 is halfway done. I'm so excited. And it's funny, before I came on this show, she texted me saying she updated me Monday. So I'm like, yay! Within these pages. And I am so freaking excited. And the Skinshifter is such a blast writing, and just looking at the interior that she's doing for it. I'm just like, this is what I wanted, and it looks so freaking good. And it also brings like that gothic type of to Jackel Bunny.
The outfit of the Jackel Bunny was very much felt like an old gothic feel to it. With the mask too, felt like an old like Halloween mask from like the 50s or 60s or 30s or 40s. It just had that old feel to it.
That's what I wanted. She bringing that out, man. And I mean, I and she knew that before I even told her.
Yeah.
Like, describing the character, I'm like, this is Jackel Bunny, and she just instantly knew I wanted like something gothic. It's like, I didn't even say the word, but somehow she just translated into what I wanted, like in a gothic type of feel to it. And I was like, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a gothic horror element to it too, because I love gothic horror too.
Same. I just literally had Jasmine Crawshaw on here with her her gothic horror story that's going to be a part of the AHA anthology.
Yeah, I think I saw the episode.
And I've seen the episode. Like, I love a good gothic, a deep, dark gothic horror. And I'm like, the world needs more of those. Just like, and I'm laughing because it reminded me of, like, I think it was late last year. Was it late last year or maybe earlier this year? But I was like, I think it was Dark Horse had released a new Western, like a horror Western comic book. I was like, the world needs more Western horror, like comic books. And like the following week, there was like 2 other ones. I was like, I made it happen.
And that's actually, I just finished a Western horror, supernatural horror too. That's coming later. Like, I don't want to give an exact date yet, but it's coming. I do have a supernatural horror Western that's coming. That's a gunslinger story.
I love those types of stories. You throw in the supernatural with a Western and like a good like old school horror story that you would think would take place in that kind of time frame. Just something about them is so good. Are you mixing like a supernatural element with like voodoo or something like that, and they just come out so well.
Yeah, and my story is called Sire Guard. It's the gunslinger is a half demon, half gunslinger character.
Okay.
And he's going to be partnered with the vampire that he does not trust, because he doesn't trust supernatural beings, even though he's part one. But
those kinds of stories are always fun.
So that's gonna be fun, bringing that to life. I can't. That's my other excited story. I can't wait to bring to life. My first Western. That's my first horror Western. I'm so excited to bring that together, man. I can't wait to bring it to life.
So, what do you think was the most challenging part of bringing this story to life?
Writing it. If I'm being honest, because like when you asked me about the balance thing, that was the hardest part. That was the challenging part, was the balance. Like, because I wrote like multiple versions of this story, and I was like, okay, that's too much of this. I'm like, that's too much of this. I'm like, this is just And then I'm like, okay, I need to slow down, because I'm like, I know what I want, but I'm going too fast. But it's really just actually sitting down and actually pacing it good enough. grabs your attention, but also pace is not too slow that makes you bored. So it's like that's the. I was like, I'm like, let me get into the action, but also make sure it paces good enough.
Yeah, you don't want to just like page one like straight into it.
Yeah,
you kind of want to slow build, like you want to slow build, but you know you can't slow build because you only get so many pages to play with, right?
Exactly. Because
so yeah, I know exactly.
Because that was literally one version I had that went straight rated R instantly, and it was like you know the movie Hellboy 2019 version.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that opening that it went straight into. I'm like, okay, no, that might turn somebody off. So I'm like, let me introduce the main character first to show how she is, and then ease you into what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there we go. That was the part. I'm like, I need to get that balance.
It's like, how do you open a comic book? You know?
Yeah.
Like, do you just go straight into it? Do you slow build? Do you like?
Yeah.
That's got to be like one of the most difficult parts because I know how I'm planning to do mine, and even that I go back and forth with myself. Like, do I want to do it that way, or do I want it to open? Like, it's basically almost. It could be like two completely separate, different vibes.
Exactly.
To the entire story, depending on which way I decide to open the story.
Exactly. Thank you.
Because I know that's going to later influence, like, later issues of the comic book. And it's kind of like, so it's literally an eternal battle with myself. That and just like decided on a name for the book as well. It's just like something I'm beating myself up over.
Yeah.
But let's keep it going. Let's talk about this Kickstarter. So what can backers expect from Skinshifter when it goes live?
As in like rewards or just?
Yeah, just like in general. Like, is it just going to be like the one book? Is it going to have others from your?
Yeah. So with this first Kickstarter, I originally I have it titled as Volume 1, but it's actually I need to change it to Chapter 1 because this Kickstarter was originally for the graphic novel, but one I had to think smart. And I got inspired by another creator, George Medina, who was basically one of my mentors when I came into this industry, where he actually launches his book, where it's Chapter 1, and then that gets done, and then he's launching the graphic novel. And so learning from him, I was like, "Ooh, I need to do it that way because I think that will balance better."
Yeah.
And so this Kickstarter is actually Chapter 1 and not Volume 1. So my apologies, I forgot to change the title.
You're good.
So this is Chapter 1 of Skinshifter, which is about roughly 40 something pages. It's a paperback. It is a paperback. It's not a floppy. It is a paperback itself. So with this Kickstarter, you have two covers. One that's the main cover by Daya, and then I have another cover by another artist named Ruth Goldstein.
Okay.
So there's for Chapter 1, and that's basically tells about the that's the first part of my novel from that's translated into the comic. And so, and I also have like a Skinshifter shirt on there if you want to merchandise with it. I have that Skinshifter title on the shirt. Even a paper snapback hat if you want to like get some swagger while you're reading Chapter 1. But yeah, with this Kickstarter, it's the one book of Chapter 1 where you can get the main cover or the variant cover. And this is my first time doing a variant cover, by the way. So I wanted to test it out to see which cover somebody might like.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in keeping it simple.
Yeah, so I'm not doing like 500 variants. I'm only doing a main and one variant. That's it. I'm stopping there.
Yeah. Again, I'm a firm believer. Let's keep it simple.
Oh yeah. So Chapter 1 is about 30 to 40 something pages for the Kickstarter. And then the graphic novel version will be Volume 1. The main cover would be by a different artist named Todd Rayner. He's done the main cover for the graphic novel. I saw the sketch. It looks so badass. I can't wait to get it. In graphic novel is probably come like probably early next year to give my artist some time to finish the pages and everything. And the graphic novel is going to be like the full arc one of Skinshifter, translated from my Jackel Bunny novel, which is about 6 issues in one book. Mm-hmm. And so that's if I can estimate the amount of pages, that might be 140 maybe ish.
Okay.
I'll let you know when I get the full book done. Well, I'm just going to estimate it's going to be about 140-ish pages or so in the graphic novel. Mm-hmm. And that's my very first graphic novel, and I'm really excited to bring this first arc together. And and I already have I already have an ending for Skinshifter. I do have an ending for Skinshifter, because like people say that you don't want to milk the franchise.
No, I'm a firm believer. Most writers go into this with a beginning and an ending. It's just how long is it going to take you to get to the end?
Yeah, I already have the ending, and but I will say the ending of Skinshifter will lead to the Halo Fate Chronicles crossover.
Okay.
So that's how to bring my Arcfire, to bring the Skinshifter, to bring the Halo Fate characters and my other comics, the characters together into Halo Fate Chronicles crossover down the road.
So what's that timeline look like till you get to that level?
Good question. I don't know yet. But on a serious note, I don't want to give a specific time yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm quality over quantity. Regardless.
100%.
I make this joke every time I'm on somebody's show. My name might be Kevin, but I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm quality over quantity. But yeah, I don't want to give like a timeline just yet, because life happens and everything. And I just want to plus I want to give my artists grace, because they're working their asses off with me, telling this universe together and bringing this universe together. But I can say for Skinshifter Chapter 1, I'm planning between June and August. I'm planning to launch this Kickstarter for Chapter 1, and so you can have it in time for Halloween. Mm-hmm. And then Volume 1, which is the actual graphic novel, about 6 issues long. I'll say early to mid 2027. But then I'll have in between stories where it's like Sire Guard, or no, not Sire Guard, no. A story named called Med Pops by Daya, who was also doing art for that one. She's on multiple books with me, so you're going to see a lot of her. So Daya's also going to be working on the story I call Med Pops, which is more an apocalyptic story. That's also going to be paperbacks. Like I said, transitioning to more paperbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, it's also connected to this overall Arch universe. Like, I'm hoping that comes out next year as well. And then I'm not sure about Sire Guard yet, because I want to make sure I keep everything organized and keep everything balanced to make everything flow. But yeah, and then and Arcfire, I'll have Arcfire graphic novel. I'm 2 issues in from Arcfire, so that's 2 single issues of Arcfire that's out.
Okay.
So I'm sending those books out to my backers from that Kickstarter. Well, I'm a bit late due to some damages of the book from the printer and everything.
Yeah, I always hate when that happens. That's never a good thing.
Yeah,
as long as you're communicating with the backers, then they understand.
I just sent an update. I'm sorry. It was supposed to be in the mail by now, but there were some issues with like the quality of the book. I'm not finishing a crappy book. The issue 1's fine. It's just the issue 2 printing. That's it. That's why it's delayed again. I'm fine. I'm getting those out there bit by bit as best as I can. But I want to get that done before I launch Skinshifter Chapter 1. Well, even if I don't, I'll send them out to both if I have to, which is fine. You're going to get the book regardless.
Yeah.
But timeline as a Skinshifter graphic novel. I'm hoping 2027, and have another story out for Matt, which is Mad Pops, for 2027 as well. And I'm turning Arcfire into a graphic novel next too. So, because even though 2 single issues in, I was like, I ain't gonna revamp that, because as I've been in this industry, I've learned so much, and so I'm kind of like my rephasing, like regrouping era of my business.
Yeah.
And so I was like, next time you see Arcfire, it will come with a new title called Arcfire Quest. And so Arcfire Quest Volume 1 is probably going to be about 6 issues too of the first arc of Arcfire. So I was like, that's going to take some time. I was like, the first 2 issues are done, so I just need to add the next pages, like the next 4 issues to complete that graphic novel. So I'm excited for that. I can't tell you how many pages that one's going to be yet, because that's a whole different medium, different than Skinshifter. And like each one is different, so they have different levels of detail and different level of storytelling. But Arcfire Quest Volume 1 graphic novel is coming down the road. I don't have a special timeline yet, as I am editing the next 4 chapters.
Yeah,
the next 4 chapters of that story. And Arcfire, I have about like maybe 20 issues in my head that I want to do. But I'm actually, instead of doing full-fledged singles, I'm going to put them in volumes, and I think that's better organized for me. And I can just put the volumes in my what's that thing called, in my stack. Instead of having so many issues, I'm putting them in volumes. It's like, so Arcfire Quest Volume 1, the first 6 issues. 2, the next 6 issues. 3, the next 6 issues.
Yeah.
And then you can see the full story in just by having 3 issues compared to having 20 freaking comics on your desk.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, if that's what works, man, that's what works, right?
Yeah, so that's why I'm transitioning to more of a paperback trade back, or whatever it's called. But
trade paperback.
Thank you.
You're almost there.
Yeah, I was like, it's one of that, right? And then I might have some hardcovers down. Because hardcovers are a lot harder to print, because they're hardcover. Some people like hardcovers, so I'm like, I might test that one out. But right now, I'm doing trade paperbacks because 1, they're quicker to print, and 2, they're cheaper compared to hardcover.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, you're not wrong about that one.
And I love hardcovers because they do last longer. I will say, but right now I'm just testing the water with some trade paperbacks, and let's just say you're going to be seeing a lot of me until I'm 90.
Hey, I mean, if this is what drives your creative soul and gives you that creative outlet that you need, then, hey, do what you gotta do, right?
Like
as long as the fan base is there supporting what you're doing, you can literally do it forever.
Like Deadpool told Hugh Jackman until he's 90. and plus, I just want to bring originality and creativity back into the world, and you never know, someday these might become animations, which is one of my goals, like turn these into horror animations. And it's like, you never say never on things. I'm a very determined person, so I'm going to make it happen. I mean, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. If you're a WB fan, you know what I'm.
Calm down, Paul Heyman. Calm down.
But that's one of my goals. Turn these into animation someday. So, yeah.
I like it, man. I do. So I'm going to give you a minute to hard sell everybody on Skinshifter and why they should back this Kickstarter. I'll give you a minute.
Okay, so you should back Skinshifter. 1, because if you love psychological thrillers, a bit of a detective murder mystery, supernatural horror, this book is for you. And if you're a big fan of alter ego stories and those type of complex characters, if you like Bray Wyatt the Fiend, if you like Split, like the Unbreakable series, just those stories that get you in your mental thinking mindset, and I think you would definitely love Skinshifter. And if you also like a little bit of gore in the horror, you're gonna see those graphics. But also, if you really love stories that makes you wonder why these characters the way they are, and you want to know that, like you want to know their backstory, and you're like, why is this villain this way, or why are they chasing this character, and just why? It's the general question is why, and why are they like this? You would definitely enjoy Skinshifter, and I really hope you give it a shot. And I think you'll definitely have a blast reading Skinshifter. And if you want some swagger with it, hey, you can look fresh while you're reading. So that's why I think you should back Skinshifter when it launches. This is chapter 1, by the way. But this is not the full graphic novel. This is just chapter 1 to dip your toes into, so you can get the feel for where the universe is going. And I think you'll love it.
I like it, man. I do. So let everybody know where they can find you and all your social media, and where they can also support you and possibly pick up your other works as well.
Well, first you can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis Official, and you can also find my business Instagram. Kevin Site is spelled right here in my name at Kevin Site, also on Instagram, and Facebook I am Kevin Davis CEO. TikTok I am Kevin Davis CEO. My YouTube name is still Kevaside, but it's going to be changed. But it's going to be changed to Kevasite when I get the chance to change it, because I recently rebranded and changed my publishing name to Kevasite Studios. And my current website name is kevaside.com, which is spelled KEVISYDE. Where you can actually find everything I do. But that's the current domain for that website. And you see my other books. You can see novels that I also publish other authors on there too. But I will put out that my site will eventually be changed to kevasite.com. But right now you still can go on my website at kevaside.com. So
awesome, dude. And all those links are currently listed down in the description of this video. So Kevin, I want to say I appreciate you coming through and sharing your story with us and your journey, and kind of just what is Skinshifter. It looks like it's going to be one hell of a book, and I'm personally excited. Exactly. And I'm personally excited for this book to hit Kickstarter. And to everyone watching, make sure you check out Skinshifter Volume 1. That link is also in the description down below. Support the Kickstarter when it launches, and make sure you follow Kevin on all platforms. But if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you like, follow, and share, because this is the USDN podcast, where indie comics come to life. And as always, this has been the chairman, and the Council of Nerds is now adjourned. Y'all be safe out there. Happy weekend.
It's a trap!